Welcome to the Coaching Closet. I'm your host, Richele. Have you ever put together an outfit that was just right, making you feel amazing from head to toe? It takes thought, planning, and effort to create that perfect look. In life, it's the same. It's like a unique puzzle with individual pieces that we must pay attention to in order for everything to work together. If something is missing, it's like walking out of the house with no pants on. Are you ready to piece together your puzzle of life? Let's go. Welcome to the Coaching Closet. This is a bit about my story. So I was raised in a really awesome family. My parents met at a very early age. They met on a blind date when they were 17, and they fell madly in love. They were in high school, and they really just got married early. They were 20 years old. They had 3 kids by the time they were 30. My whole life, I just thought that was the norm, and my whole goal was to grow up and become a mom, just like my mom, and have kids and be just like her. And I just absolutely loved that she was involved in our activities and school and always there for us. When I got older, it was expected that we would go to college and earn some sort of degree. And I was very interested in psychology, and I knew that I loved to be there for my friends and help solve their problems when I could. So that's what I studied in school. I loved it, but I told myself, if I find my husband when I'm in college, I will get married. And if I don't, I will go on to get my master's degree. But I found my husband, and I ended up getting engaged at the age of 19 and married at 20, which was fantastic because that's exactly what my mom did. And I thought, man, I'm right on track. I ended up having 2 girls by the time I was 29 years old and was a stay-at-home mom to those girls for the duration of my marriage. But the unfortunate part was I was not prepared to be married and face the fact that my marriage was not healthy. And when I realized that it wasn't, was around the 9-year mark. I noticed some things were not going well. And I did bring this up to my ex-husband, and we went to a counseling session, and we were given a book to read. And that book would have been helpful in a marriage where both parties were on the same page. But years went by, and I realized that nothing was really changing. And unfortunately, a few years later, it became apparent to me that I was not only in a difficult marriage, but in a destructive marriage. And then after reading more books and diving a little deeper into my research, I realized I was in an abusive marriage. So then I brought up trying to go to counseling again, and it wasn't taken very well. It was kind of brushed off, and that's a terrible feeling when you really aren't doing well and the other party is not wanting to work as a team and they're okay with everything going on and you're not. So we went through this struggle for about 6 or 7 years at the end of the marriage, where I was reading book after book, and I thought, if I can just do something different, maybe I can fix it. And I've heard this term since becoming a certified relationship coach, and I definitely felt like I was doing it, and that is turning myself into a pretzel to try to make things better, to try to make things work. And that's definitely what I felt like I was doing at the time, because I felt like I would do anything to make things better. I had stacks and stacks of books that I would just read and think, anything, I will just do anything to try to fix the situation. So that is a very, very short explanation of what went on. And in addition to that, we were raising 2 children who had their own things going on. And my ex-husband traveled a lot. He ended up starting his own engineering company. He's a very intelligent businessman, had a lot of ambition. So he was doing a lot, traveling a lot. Our kids were in private school, and I was very involved in volunteering in the school and the church and all kinds of organizations, junior league. So we were not, sitting still. We were very, very busy and involved in the community. there was lots going on, not just trying to fix our relationship. It was like many, many, many moving parts. And I look back and I think, what a whirlwind. I mean, what a storm we were going through. Wow. At the very end of it, we did get into counseling, and for a year we went together. It was just me the last 2 years trying to figure things out, and I had a wonderful counselor. And really, I just realized the last 2 years that this was not going to change. And so I got stronger and looked at myself and realized, like, you know what? There's some things about me that I have not understood. I realized I was disappearing myself in the relationship, that I had not really been true to myself. And that's what made me understand that I had changed the rules. And in the beginning of the relationship, I had done everything to really just, I guess I had just decided that everything that he said was fine, and he was smarter than me, so I would just do what he thought was right. And I didn't think that I was smart enough. I didn't think that I was grown up enough. And I really wasn't. I wasn't really ready for marriage looking back. And so I disappeared myself. I shrunk down. Then later on, I realized, you know what? I have a say and I do have an opinion that matters. So I did change the rules. And I even told him, I've changed the rules and that's probably not fair. So now we need to renegotiate. And that didn't go over very well. I'm just going through this to tell you that, that's my story and how it went down. But it didn't go over well because we didn't grow together. We didn't evolve together. And when two parties come together in marriage, you've got to understand that the people are going to evolve and change. They're going to grow. They're going to grow up, especially if you are together at age 18 and 20, which we were. No matter what age you get together, you have to understand that these are two individual people that are going to grow. And so we went through a very, very painful time, and it was a toxic relationship. It was an abusive relationship. It wasn't one-sided. There was toxicity on both sides. And so in this podcast, in the different episodes, I am going to be going through the ins and outs of how that evolved, different facets of it. I've since become, like I said, a certified relationship coach, and I do help people with understanding relationships and how they can make their relationships stronger, how they can prepare for relationships, and how they can heal and overcome grief after breakups and divorce. That's what the podcast is going to be focusing on in the different episodes. A major part of it is going to be relationships, because I've been through so much. It was a 22-year marriage, 24-year relationship, ending in a very difficult divorce where we have 2 children, and they did suffer quite a bit. And that was over 4 years ago. And since then, I have called in a beautiful love, and I'm very happy. And that is a blessing. That is a beautiful blessing. And so I am excited about sharing with you all about that, and how out of hardship, out of some very difficult times, I've learned and I've grown, and I'm helping others through that. I hope you'll join me on this journey and just allow me to pour into you. Also, many of my other passions are not just relationships, but that is my main one: fashion, travel, friendship, and how to really discover yourself after having been through hardships and been through experiences that you may not want to go through. They may seem like the worst thing ever. And then you look back and you can look at them with gratitude and be thankful for them. Even at the time, you're thinking, I wish this never happened. And later you can look at them and say, I'm so thankful that happened to me, because it made me the person that I am today. So join me in this beautiful experience out of my coaching closet. Thank you for joining me today on the Coaching Closet. My hope is that with each episode, you will discover, like an amazing puzzle, all of the unique pieces in your life fit together to create the beautiful image of you. If you find this podcast to be helpful and would like to share with others, please do me a quick favor and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. This helps to make the podcast more visible. Thanks again for spending your time with me today. Be sure to visit me at coachingcloset.com for past episodes and gifts to help you find your beauty from the inside out.